everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to continue on with the Halloween card making, and we're going to be using a few different products. We're going to use Nectar for our ink blending because we are going to be using this stencil, and then we're also going to be using the sentiment strips to hopefully coordinate with scrapbook.com Spooky. I don't know if I've used this before, so I'm going to use it again. And then I'm also going to be using Halloween icons. So we have the coordinating stamps and dies. So to make sure that I have this completely centered, I am going to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my tape. I'm going to tape this down here at the bottom. Okay, so that way this doesn't move. Okay. I could totally use my ink blending mat, but I honestly do not feel like getting that out. That is the real reason. I think I'll do 3 columns and 4 rows, and let's get this completely straight. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, at least got that there. Hopefully I have everything centered. If I don't, well, again, we'll just have to trim it down. Okay, so I'm just going to use my tape to cover the areas that I don't want to ink blend onto. You know, I have another idea. Instead of ink blending, I have an idea. I'll do it in a different video, or maybe I'll do it on the side. I have this, I did it, actually I don't even know if you guys have seen it yet, but I bought this new die set from the stamp market, and it cuts out a checkered background, so maybe I'll do that after this video. So that way, if you don't like the ink blending idea, you will get this idea. You'll have another option. Y'all, I love doing cards off video. Because it, sometimes I like to craft and watch TV, and you know, when you're making your videos for us content creators, we don't get to craft and watch YouTube or, you know, whatever. Sometimes I'll do a lot of things off camera and I'll turn it into a short, or I just don't bring it to the channel. And I enjoy those times of watching TV and watching somebody else's video. I don't know, I enjoy it. That's one thing I do miss about just crafting for me and not the channel. I'm just enjoying TV and, you know, just creating. But I do enjoy crafting and bringing it to my channel. I love to show what I'm working on and help and inspire others. That's the whole reason why I started my channel. I noticed there wasn't too many Cricut crafters out there that they did a lot of tutorials, and I'm inexperienced enough in the Cricut industry that I don't need a bunch of tutorials. So that's why I started to watch a few, I try to find individuals that didn't do that. And it was hard to find someone, so I thought, I can't be the only one that just doesn't want to watch tutorials. just want to watch someone craft. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I've mentioned this before. I am obsessed with Cards and Coffee by Tina Smith. Oh, I love her channel and her cards. And binge watching hers, and it's just fun to sit back and watch someone create. All right, it's a little darker, but I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it at all. Okay, let me get this cleaned up, and then I'm gonna bring out my stamp, or my stamps, and then we'll get to coloring. All right, so we have 3 by 4, so we have 12. So we have 3, 4, we have exactly 12. So wonderful. And I just got to take a second and to admire the fact that I got this pretty darn near centered. I am impressed because honestly, I was ready to trim down this panel because I didn't think that I did. So I am stoked that I got that right. Okay. I have not picked out my Copics yet. I will here in a little bit, but no, that's not making sense. Okay, so we're going to be using all of these little gadgets. I don't know if some of them may not need to be colored, like that spider web. I don't think that needs to be colored at all, but you know, we'll give it a try. We'll see what we can do. There we go. And then I'm just going to rub my fingers across that, just to get that newness, the film off of it. Okay, and then I'm going to get that all inked up. Now I am using my Memento Tuxedo Black because it pairs really well with alcohol markers and doesn't smear or smudge, so highly recommend getting a Memento Tuxedo Black. And I think Lawn Fawn, their black also pairs well with alcohol markers. I'm sure there's others. Do me a favor, in the comment section, let me know what you like to use when you're coloring with Copics or Ohuhus or just any alcohol markers. What's your brand and like your favorite? I've only ever used Memento Tuxedo Black, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. No, I'm not. Okay, not a problem. We'll bring in another one. So since I started crafting, that's all I ever used. Again, I started card making because of May Made It. I know I probably brought her up to you all several times, and she's the one who kind of got me into card making, paper piecing. In fact, I have a paper piecing video for Halloween coming up. I bought this cardstock and these cut aparts for Halloween, and I am so excited to be working with it. I'm kind of saving that for last, or at least crafting it last. I don't know the order of these videos are gonna get out. You guys, again, you all know me. I never know. All right, just using my mild baby wipe. All right, I picked out my Copics, and we're gonna go ahead and get to coloring. I will list all the ones that I use in the card and the description box, so be sure to check that out. So I'm gonna turn on some music, and we will get to coloring. And even figure out the positioning of everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score my card panel. Not my card panel, but my card base. So we're doing A2, so it's 4 1/4 by 11. So we're going to score it at the halfway mark, which is 5.5. I always like to try to get this out of the way. Like once I'm ready to start to assemble, but I want to line things, I always want to get that panel on. Sometimes it's not always a good idea that I move so quick to that because, well, sometimes I forget that I'm embossing or stamping onto my card panel, and at this point it's already on the card base, so you're kind of screwed. Not really, because I have been able to stamp with my Misty on, even though it's attached. Okay, alright, so then I am going to try to figure out where everything goes. I like it. Okay, so the reason why I kind of went with that, because I wanted to keep the black or the gray in this I wanted to keep the gray away from each other. Like I wanted to keep the colors that pair with each other away from each other and spread it out a little evenly. So purples, whites-ish gray, got the turquoise green, oranges. So I kind of spread them pretty evenly next to each other. So now I'm going to add dimension because I think that this card just needs just a little bit more. And then we will place it on there. Alrighty, last one. And we'll put her. Who loves candy corn? This girl does. I love candy corn. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so cute. You know, I don't like to color, but I'm liking it more and more, especially now that I got a lot of pretty Copics. You guys should see my marker collection. I like the Ohuhus. I like my tri-blends. They're all really good markers. But yes, okay. So let's go ahead and do some embossing. Let me try to find my stuff. Alright, so we're going to move that to the side, and I think that is just, it is just on point. Although, that spider web is not on point. Can I get that off? Yes, I can. Alright, let's try that again. I just now realized I need to get that on center. Kind of takes up the whole square. Okay, it's a little bit better. Oh my goodness, these icons, oh, so pretty. All right, I am going to do some embossing, and I think I'll just use How You Doing with the HOWL. And then, again, this is Spooky from scrapbook.com. Now they do have the die cut, but the coordinating die cut, but I do want to use the Stamp Market, or not Stamp Market, Pretty Pink Posh, because I really like their stitch work on that. Okay, I think that's good. That looks good. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue all over it, and wherever it lands, and wherever it doesn't, it will dry. I like it centered. Do I? No, centered. Now I gotta look this up real quickly to see if it's straight. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. I don't think I'm going to add any embellishment because I really honestly think that there's enough in this card. It doesn't really need it. Let me know if you think that I should add embellishment. I think there's plenty going on in this card. And there's the card. How you doing? Isn't that cute? Okay, let me get my area cleaned up, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the die. We'll do it together, and then I'm gonna arrange everything off camera, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So I gotta get my space cleaned up before I can even get that far. Okay, so give me 1 second. Who hates working in a messy craft table. I cannot do it. I clean as I go. That's why you'll see my camera transitioning, or my videos transitioning a lot from one segment to another, just because I'm cleaning up, and of course I'm not going to make you watch all that. So I am using some cardstock from, from Joann Fabrics. I know they don't, I think they closed down, or they're almost closing down, but I really like this orange, and I don't want to use that my spellbinders that I had just got. It's really pretty. I did some, well, candy corn. If you didn't watch that video, make sure that you do watch that video. Let me show you. So I made these really pretty cards using spellbinders. I am going to put an order in here soon, because I absolutely love their cardstock, because it's actually my favorite. So I'm going to use this checkered cover. I did some really pretty cards using this die set, so I am super thrilled about that. Alright, so I am going to get this centered as best as possible. It's so funny. This die set reminds me of the Hunger Games, and you're gonna laugh at why. Because when I started playing with this for the first time, I making a card with it. I was watching Hunger Games, so it's funny that I remember that. All right, so what I'm gonna do in order to keep this, on their video they actually recommend press and seal. Well, I don't have any, so I am just gonna run tape on each one, and this is, I love this tape. This is, oh, it's way longer than I need. This is from Michaels, their low tack tape. I can't rip that without ruining it. Okay, so whatever. Alright, so I'm going to do that for the remaining columns here. Okay, so you want to make sure that you really push down on your cardstock, and then you're going to, and then with it running through the machine is also going to help push that through. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the ones that we don't want. So I'm going to go every other one. Now you could totally keep, oh jeez, Rachel. Oh my goodness, I was not paying attention. Okay, let's try that again. You can totally, I don't know what I was going to say. So I want to keep that one, get rid of that. So who is looking forward to cooler weather? I'm not sure when this video is getting posted. Probably is right near Halloween, so it probably is cool, but like I said, I'm recording in July, and in my neck of the woods we don't always get cold Octobers. It's usually pretty warm. So there was one October where it was actually pretty cold, I say like in the 70s, 60s, and then, did I say winter? I mean Halloween. I don't know what I said. It's getting late for me. I really need to call it a quits. But anyway, and then the rest of the Halloweens have been pretty warm. I would love for Halloween to be nice and cold. I remember when I was living in Ohio, no, I know what you other. One year it was snowing on Halloween. Those were the good old days. And that's when I was trick-or-treating. Alright, so I'm just using my tape runner and running some tape on there. You can use glue, but I did this last time with glue, and in fact in their little demonstration on how to use this, they used tape runner too, and I was like, nah, I'll use glue. No, I really wish that I used tape runner, and here's why. Because if you pull it up too quickly and it's not dry, it will, you know, you might get your order. Now you want to put your card base or your card panel, you could put it directly on there, whatever you want to do. Just the main thing is you want to make sure it's lined up to your best ability. So I don't know if I just want to kind of do that. Did I get it on there? Question mark. Okay, well, here's hoping. I can always trim it down. Alright, so what I'm going to do is going to press really hard on those areas that I glued down to make sure that I added tape runner to. And then I'm going to really make sure that it's on there. Okay, so then I'm going to gently peel the pink tape up. I don't want to go crazy. In fact, actually, I might just, no, I'm going to pull it up because I don't want to rip it, because this is, even though it's low tack, it still may rip the paper. So you just want to go gently. So there's that. It's doing really good though. I don't know why I didn't like this tape. I bought it. I think it's because I tried the mint tape from scrapbook.com, and I think theirs is way too low tacky. Look, I kind of ripped it. Okay, I need to slow down. It's not as tacky as I'd like it. So I kind of just, oh, I thought I scratched my glass board. Okay. Shiny moment. All right. Then, okay, so we clearly got it off a little bit, and that's okay. It's, you know, it's gonna happen, so that's not a big deal, because what I'll do is I'll just trim that up with my paper trimmer. So bring in my paper trimmer. I'm just gonna trim it down, I'm gonna do 1/8 of an inch on both sides, so that way we can have a little bit of a border anyways. So there's that, and then just clean that right up. Then I'll do 5 1/2, go to 3/8. And then this will be at 4. Okay. And then this will be at 5, or 5 1/4. Okay, so that is how you can do that. So if you don't want to do a stencil, you could do something like this, and you could totally use your Cricut and cut out a bunch of squares. You just got to make sure that you line it all up. Okay, so I'm just going to use the same order. However, let's see here. I think I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 6, 9. I'll do 12, and of course it's going to be on white and that pastel orangey color. Okay, so let me go ahead and get that done real quick, and then I will do the sentiment. I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm not going to show you the rest of the card, the process of it, because it's the same process that we did the other card. So give me a second, I'll get that done, and you'll see what this product looks like finished. Now that I finally put everything together, I'm going to go ahead and show you that card, and here it is. I used the Boo from scrapbook.com, something I got a year ago, and it is a little bit bigger in comparison to this one. So it does cover up the pumpkin and the skull a little bit more than this one. So if you don't like that, then maybe leave the 2 rows empty, put your big sentiment there, and then have your icons around it. That's also an idea. Or, you know, I don't know, space them out a little bit more, but I actually don't hate it. I really do like how these both turned out. They're so entirely different from one another, but it's such a cool concept, and I just had so much fun doing them. Okay, well, that is all I have for you today in today's video. So you get a bonus card, and let me know, which card do you like the most? Do you like card 1 or card 2? Okay, well, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.